Many world-changing discoveries are born from accidents: penicillin, the microwave, even post-it notes. Sometimes the most remarkable breakthroughs happen when things don't go as planned, and a curious mind is willing to investigate the unexpected. The same is true for one of the slipperiest substances in science, a material that would eventually find its way into millions of homes and industries. In 1938, Dr. Roy J. Plunkett at DuPont was searching for a safer refrigerant, not a new cookware material. His work was part of a larger effort to improve everyday life through chemistry. He stored tetrafluoroethylene, TFE gas, in pressurized canisters, but one morning, a canister wouldn't release any gas. It seemed like a frustrating setback, but it was actually the start of something extraordinary. The canister was still heavy, so Plunkett's curiosity led him to investigate. He wondered what could be causing the blockage inside. Instead of gas, he found a strange, waxy white powder inside. This was completely unexpected and unlike anything he had seen before. The TFE had polymerized, forming a new solid, polytetrafluoroethylene, or PTFE. This accidental reaction would soon prove to be incredibly valuable. Testing revealed it was incredibly slippery, resistant to chemicals, and could withstand extreme temperatures. No other material at the time had this unique combination of properties. The secret was in its chemistry, a powerful carbon-fluorine bond, making it stable and non-reactive. This bond is one of the strongest in organic chemistry, giving PTFE its remarkable durability. DuPont patented the discovery in 1941 and trademarked it as Teflon in 1945. The company quickly realized the potential of this new material. This accidental invention would soon revolutionize industries, and eventually, our kitchens. Teflon's versatility made it a sought-after solution for countless applications. Plunkett's failed experiment became a breakthrough, thanks to scientific curiosity and persistence. His willingness to explore the unknown changed the course of material science. Teflon's unique properties, slipperiness, chemical resistance, and heat tolerance set it apart from anything else. It quickly became the gold standard for non-stick surfaces. It was a material waiting for its moment to shine, and soon, it would be in everything from spacecraft to frying pans. The world had no idea how much this lab accident would change everyday life. Teflon would become a household name, synonymous with convenience and innovation. From industrial uses to household convenience, Teflon's journey was just beginning. Its impact would be felt for generations. Sometimes the greatest discoveries come from simply refusing to give up on a puzzle. Curiosity and determination can turn a problem into a world-changing solution. Teflon's story is a testament to the power of curiosity in science. It reminds us that even mistakes can lead to incredible progress, and it all started with a stuck canister and a willingness to look closer, proof that sometimes the best discoveries are the ones we never intended to make. Before Teflon hit frying pans, it played a secret role in World War II, hidden away in top-secret laboratories and military projects. Its remarkable resistance to corrosion and extreme heat made it vital for the Manhattan Project, where it was used to safely contain uranium hexafluoride gas, an essential step in the race to build the atomic bomb. After the war, DuPont searched for ways to bring this extraordinary material into everyday life. By 1946, Teflon was already solving tough industrial problems, from machinery coatings to chemical processing, but the leap from factory floors to the kitchen required a spark of creativity and a willingness to experiment. In the 1950s, French engineer Marc Gregoire first coated his fishing gear with Teflon to prevent tangles. It was his wife Colette who had the inspired idea to try the slippery substance on cookware. Marc bonded Teflon to an aluminum pan, creating the world's very first non-stick frying pan. A true kitchen innovation. Their company, Tefal, launched in 1956, and the revolutionary idea quickly spread across Europe, changing the way people cooked. The Happy Pan arrived in the US in 1961, promising effortless cooking, easy cleanup, and a new era of convenience for American families. Non-stick cookware soon became a kitchen staple, revolutionizing home cooking and making once difficult recipes accessible to everyone. Teflon, once a closely guarded military secret, was now a symbol of modern convenience and progress in households everywhere. But this newfound convenience relied on a hidden chemical helper, one that would remain in the shadows for years, quietly supporting the nonstick revolution. The story of Teflon was about to take a darker turn as questions about its safety began to surface. A new chapter was about to unfold, one involving a mysterious chemical called PFOA, whose impact would reach far beyond the kitchen. To understand Teflon's full story, we need to talk about PFOA, or perfluorooctanoic acid, also known as C8. PFOA wasn't in the final Teflon coating, but it was essential in manufacturing, acting as a surfactant to keep PTFE particles from clumping. PFOA belongs to the PFAS family, thousands of man-made chemicals with strong carbon-fluorine bonds that don't break down in nature. These forever chemicals persist in soil, water, and living things, accumulating over time. PFOA's durability made it useful, but also a problem. It travels far, builds up in our bodies, and doesn't go away. For decades, PFOA from factories entered air and water, silently contaminating communities. For consumers, the risk from finished pans was minimal, but the real danger was in the pollution left behind. The story of PFOA is about the hidden cost of convenience. It's a tale of pollution that would spark one of America's biggest environmental battles. The dangers of PFOA came to light not in a lab, surrounded by scientists and test tubes, but on Wilbert Tennant's cattle farm in Parkersburg, West Virginia, a quiet, rural place where life revolved around the land and livestock. In the late 1990s, Tennant's cows developed bizarre illnesses and died in alarming numbers, their suffering both mysterious and heartbreaking for the family. He suspected the creek running through his pasture, fed by runoff from a DuPont landfill, was to blame, as the water had turned strange and foul. Officials in DuPont dismissed his concerns, blaming poor animal care and refusing to investigate further, leaving Tennant feeling isolated and unheard. Determined, Tennant documented the suffering with videos and water samples, gathering evidence even as his neighbors doubted him. Desperate for help, he approached Rob Bilott, a corporate lawyer with family ties to the area, hoping someone would finally listen. Bilott, moved by the evidence and Tennant's determination, took the case, expecting a straightforward pollution lawsuit. Instead, he uncovered a much bigger story, a chemical contaminant affecting not just one farm, but an entire community's water and health. Tennant's fight for his cows became a fight for the truth and for the safety of his neighbors. His persistence would expose a hidden threat and ignite a battle for justice that would reach far beyond his own fields. Sometimes, change starts with one person refusing to be ignored, no matter how small their voice may seem. The spark was lit on a muddy farm in West Virginia, where courage and truth began to challenge a powerful industry. When Rob Bilott sued DuPont, he demanded all documents about the landfill near Tennant's farm. What he found was staggering. Thousands of pages revealing DuPont's knowledge of PFOA's dangers. As early as the 1960s, DuPont knew PFOA was toxic to animals and accumulating in workers' blood. In 1981, internal studies showed PFOA crossed the placenta, causing birth defects in workers' children. Instead of warning the public or the EPA, DuPont kept the findings secret and moved female workers out of the division. The company dumped PFOA waste into landfills and rivers, contaminating local water far beyond safety limits. Bilott realized this was bigger than one farm. It was about thousands unknowingly exposed. The truth was out. DuPont had hidden the risks for decades. The stage was set for a major legal and scientific reckoning. Armed with evidence, Bilott filed a class-action lawsuit for 70,000 people exposed to PFOA in their drinking water. The EPA launched its own investigation, fining DuPont a record $16.5 million for failing to report PFOA's risks. The 2004 settlement required DuPont to fund an independent health study, the C8 Health Project, testing nearly 69,000 people. If a link between PFOA and disease was found, DuPont would pay for medical monitoring and could be sued for personal injury. Science, not just the courts, would decide the company's fate. The fight for accountability had just begun. For 7 years, the C8 Science Panel analyzed data from the affected community. In 2011-2012, they found probable links between PFOA exposure and 6 serious health conditions: kidney and testicular cancer, thyroid disease, ulcerative colitis, high cholesterol, and pregnancy-induced hypertension. The findings opened the door to thousands of personal injury lawsuits. juries found DuPont liable, awarding millions in damages. In 2017, DuPont and Chemours settled over 3,500 claims for $670 million, without admitting wrongdoing. Science had delivered its verdict, and the company was finally held to account. The PFOA controversy forced the chemical industry to change. By 2015, PFOA was phased out in the US, but companies replaced it with new chemicals like Gen X. Gen X, promoted as safer, was soon found contaminating water and linked to health problems. The cycle of regrettable substitution continued, as thousands of PFAS chemicals spread into the environment and our bodies. Nearly all Americans now have PFAS in their blood. In 2023 and 2024, regulators set strict new limits for PFAS in drinking water and classified PFOA as a carcinogen. The fight that began on a small farm became a national movement. The story of forever chemicals is far from over. So, is your non-stick pan safe? Yes, if you use it wisely. Since 2015, PFOA is no longer used in Teflon cookware. Today's PTFE coating is stable and inert. The FDA considers PTFE-coated pans safe for normal use. The main risk is overheating. Above 500 degrees Celsius, PTFE can break down and release fumes that cause temporary flu-like symptoms in humans and are deadly to birds. To stay safe, never preheat an empty pan. Cook on low to medium heat and keep your kitchen ventilated. Use wood, silicone, or plastic utensils to avoid scratches and replace heavily damaged pans. The Teflon story is a lesson in corporate responsibility and environmental vigilance. But in your kitchen, you can enjoy non-stick convenience. Just use common sense. Science helps us use technology safely and responsibly. Now go make those perfect eggs, knowledge in hand.